And now let's get the latest on the impact of Tropical Cyclone Bashang and the shear line. We're now joined by the spokesperson of Office of Civil Defense, Sir Juni Castillo. Sir, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Pauline. Good morning to the viewers of Morning Matters.
Okay, sir. So can you tell us ilan na po ba ang confirmed and verified deaths brought about by Typhoon or Tropical Cyclone Bashang?
With regards to the affected population, Pauline, as of now, there are 579,000 Filipinos that have been affected by Tropical Storm Bashang. This is coming from 1,200 barangays, mostly in Visayas and Mindanao, and this is composed of 163,000 families. As of this morning, the casualties that we have been reported to us that are still due for validation by the management of the dead and missing cluster, meron pong 12. So yung shampoo dyan are coming from Region 10 or Northern Mindanao, 3 of which are verified coming from Iligan City, and then may isa pa that is being verified, and then 3 also coming from Caraga region. There are also 36 injured, reportedly injured, and then so far no more missing, because the last one that was reported missing ay yun na po yung naisama doon sa casualties. Again, this is sad news na meron pong 12 na hindi nakaligtas. But in terms of the humanitarian assistance and then disaster response being done by the government agencies and the local government agencies, so yung mga nandun po sa ating evacuation centers are being taken care of.
Of course, our hearts go out to all those affected, especially those who lost their loved ones. But going back to the 12 fatalities, Sir Juni, ano po ba yung naging cause or what caused their deaths?
Yung 3 or rather, that's 4, yung 4 po coming from Cagayan de Oro City, ito po yung dahil sa landslide. Ang bahay po nila ay malapit dun sa quarry area at natabunan po yung bahay. So that's the 4 coming from Cagayan de Oro City landslide. Yung doon naman po sa Iligan City at saka yung doon sa Caraga region, these are caused by drowning po, nalunod dahil sa mga flash flood na nangyari dun sa mga syudad na yun.
Well, as you mentioned, sir, 579,000 ang affected dito. But which areas are considered the hardest hit after Tropical Storm Bashang?
If we will look at the numbers, Pauline, at saka even if yung mga damage to the infrastructure, and the number of affected population, this will still be Iligan City, sa Region 10. Although most of these areas that have been affected, especially mga roads, have already been cleared, but in terms of the affected population, sila yung madami at saka marami rin mga lumikas, at saka inaasikaso naman ang ating mga lokal na pamahalaan and national government agencies.
Are there still any families or individuals, sir, na nasa mga evacuation centers?
Yes, meron pa. As of last night, kasi umabot yung ating mga evacuation centers, umabot nung 391 na mga evacuation centers. Yung nasa loob nito, 15,000 families. But we expect na dahil kahapon, maganda na yung panahon doon, we expect na by today we'll be updating this na malamang po marami na rin ang mga nakauwi sa kanilang mga bahay.
Well, more than 8.3 million pesos in assistance has already been provided, sir. But can you break down what that includes and how it's being distributed on the ground for all of those affected?
Most of this assistance, Polino, are coming from the DSWD. Ito po yung mga family food packs, mga ready-to-eat food, and then some non-food items also coming from different agencies, including OCD, yung mga hygiene kits, mga sanitary kits, and other non-food items. So mostly ito yung mga assistance, these are relief items na ipinamahagi po at ibinigay doon sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na yung mga nasa evacuation centers.
And from what you've seen so far, Sir Juni, kamusta naman po yung inyong assessment doon sa ating naging disaster response, and were there any gaps that still need to be addressed?
With regards to the response, Pauline, even before typhoon na Bashang has made landfall in Surigao del Sur. The response clusters of the national government agencies, including the local government units, have been activated. So these are 15 response clusters. And also when it comes to our early warning information, this has been disseminated to our local government units. If we'll talk about gaps, it's the actions that are being taken after all the informations have been provided for, especially that in some of these areas, we're looking at perhaps we're looking at yung kumbaga yung hindi po na anticipate or rather hindi na-underestimate yung mga information that are being given to us. Ang isa po kasi nagiging challenge natin, some of our kababayans wouldn't want to do preemptive evacuation dahil syempre we understand may mga ari-arian sila that have to be protected and secured, but then again syempre ang iniisip natin buhay talaga yung mahalaga, kapag ganitong may mga sakuna o may mga bantang panganib. That's one. Another thing perhaps would be also, of course, in the long term, there are structural measures and non-structural measures that have to be done in terms of the prevention and mitigation. But in terms of response, our government agencies are ready and doing the prepositioning and standby of our resources in order to to be able to respond to whatever the need of our kababayans.
Well, Sir, Bashang has already dissipated in weekend, but with that said, are there still any risks that the communities should watch out for? Possibly more flooding pa rin or kahit mga landslides?
That's right, Pauline. Even if Bashang is not in the Philippine area of responsibility already, we still have local weather disturbances. Like we still have the northeast monsoon or the Amihan. We have the shear line, which by the way has been bringing about rains to most parts of the southern Luzon region. Kaya nga po sa mga kababayan natin, yung pag-asa po nagpapalabas pa rin nung mga heavy rainfall warning, especially kahapon at saka ngayon, and then hanggang bukas po at sa mga susunod na araw, bantayan po natin yon kasi lalo na po Bicol region, yung northern Samar, some parts of the area also, even yung Luzon, may northeast monsoon or Amihan. So dapat po talaga magbantay tayo, makinig sa abiso po ng mga lokal na pamahalaan natin kung kailangan lumikas, kung kailangan na mga dapat pong gawin in order for us to be safe.
Finally, what's your message, sir, to all the residents in affected areas in terms of safety, and where can they seek help if they need assistance?
In terms of seeking help, Pauline, we still recommend for them to be able to know all the numbers, all the responders in the local area. Pagdating naman doon sa mga kung pwedeng tawagan, we still have the Unified 911 para tawagan po. But then, what's most important is inaalam natin sa ating mga lokal na otoridad, sa barangay, sa munisipyo, o sa syudad, kung ano yung mga dapat ninyong gawin kapag may ipinalabas na po ng mga impormasyon, lalo na po yung mga listahan ng mga barangay na meron pong banta ng mga pagguho ng lupa at saka ng mga pagbaha. So mahalaga po alam natin yung mga impormasyon na yon at saka alam din po natin kung sakaling lilikas tayo saan tayo pupunta. Again, wag po munang kung nasa evacuation centers naman po, wag po munang babalik sa inyong mga bahay hanggat walang abiso po ng ating mga lokal na otoridad. Ang ating naman pong mga ahensya ng gobyerno ay nandito naman po para tugunan dahil ang direktiba syempre sa atin ng ating Pangulo ay yung akma, maayos at mabilis na pagtugon sa inyo pong mga pangangailangan.
Well, thank you very much for all those updates. That was OCD spokesperson Junie Castillo.